Yo, what's good, everyone? So picture this. A kid from Cleveland, Ohio starts making 6-second videos on Vine in his parents' house. Fast forward a few years, and he's got a Disney Channel show, becomes one of the biggest YouTubers on the planet, then decides to switch careers entirely and starts knocking people out in a boxing ring for millions of dollars per fight. And now, this dude just dropped $40 million on 6,000 acres of pure insanity in Georgia. I'm talking Lamborghinis drifting through dirt roads, private lakes, his own gas station, exotic animal plans, and enough toys to make a billionaire jealous. Today we're breaking down every single detail of Jake Paul's absolutely ridiculous ranch. Let's get into it. Before we dive into this property, you gotta understand the journey. Jake Paul didn't inherit this money. He wasn't born into some trust fund family. This man grinded his way from internet troll to legitimate multimillionaire. And honestly, the story is kind of wild when you think about it. Back in 2013, Jake was just another teenager making Vine compilations. 6-second videos of him doing dumb stuff with his brother Logan. Then he catches a break and lands a role on Disney Channel's Bizaardvark in 2016. But here's where it gets interesting. Most people would play it safe, ride that Disney check, maybe transition into Hollywood. Not Jake. Dude gets fired from Disney for being too wild, causing neighborhood chaos, and he just doubles down on YouTube. And it worked. The Team 10 era was absolutely massive. Millions of subscribers, merchandise flying off shelves, brand deals left and right. But even that wasn't enough. In 2018, he announces he's going to become a professional boxer, and everyone laughed. Everyone. They said he was a joke, that he'd get destroyed, that it was just a publicity stunt. Well, 5 years later, Jake's knocked out former UFC champions, made tens of millions per fight, and legitimately became a real boxer. Love him or hate him, you can't deny the man knows how to make money. And all of that led to this moment right here. A $40 million investment property in the middle of Georgia that's about to blow your mind. Alright, so let's talk about what $40 million actually gets you. This place is called Paul Reserve. And when I say it's massive, I mean it's literally over half the size of Manhattan. 6,000 acres of land in Georgia, sitting right on Lake Seminole, which is a 38,000-acre lake formed by 2 rivers. Just to put that in perspective, most people can't even walk their entire property in a single day. Jake admits he hasn't even seen a fifth of his own land yet. The previous property manager told him it would take 5 years just to learn where everything is. 5 years! That's how big we're talking. And get this, the driveway alone is 3 miles long. 3 miles! That's one of the longest residential driveways in America. Jake literally uses his driveway as a racetrack to test out his Lamborghinis. Most of us are happy with a 2-car garage and a 50-foot driveway. This man's driveway is longer than some people's commute to work. The property sits at the bottom of the Appalachian Mountains, so you've got these beautiful rolling hills throughout the entire ranch. And Jake was super strategic about why he picked Georgia specifically. He needed a few things. He wanted to be on a lake for water sports. He needed flat land to build an airstrip and a racetrack. He wanted good weather year-round without those brutal 6-month winters you get in places like Montana or Wyoming. And Georgia checked every single box. Now let's get into the fun stuff, the toys. Oh man, the toys. First up, we got the water situation, and it's absolutely ridiculous. There's a 20-acre lake right on the property, plus 4 miles of water frontage on Lake Seminole. That means Jake's got access to basically unlimited water for whatever he wants to do. He's got wake surfing boats, and not just any wake surfing boats. He's rocking a custom Nautique Paragon 25 that he calls Blue Balls. Yeah, you heard that right. It's decked out entirely in blue because his first Lamborghini was blue, and apparently Jake really loves the color blue. This boat is supposedly the greatest wake surf boat ever invented, and it probably costs somewhere around $300,000. Then we got the jet skis. Not regular jet skis either. Jake claims these are literally the fastest jet skis in the world, pushing 300 horsepower. For reference, most jet skis have like half that power. These things are absolute rockets on the water. He's got multiple jet skis just sitting at the dock ready to go at any moment. And if that wasn't enough, there's also these jet stream boats that supposedly can't flip. They're indestructible. During the tour, Jake literally crashes one, and it just keeps going. The thing is unsinkable, which is good because there's alligators in that water, and you definitely don't want to be swimming around with gators nearby. Oh, and there's a 30-acre duck pond too. Every year they plant it with corn, then flood it during duck season, and it attracts thousands of ducks. The ducks eat the corn right off the surface of the water. Jake says in a couple months there'll be thousands of ducks just hanging out. It's all part of the hunting setup, which we'll get to in a minute. Alright, so Jake Paul is a car guy, like a serious car guy. This property has over $5 million worth of vehicles just sitting around. Multiple Lamborghinis, one of which caught on fire during a stunt, and Jake just kept drifting it anyway. The man has zero chill when it comes to his cars. But it's not just supercars. The property requires serious equipment to maintain, so there's dump trucks, John Deere tractors, bulldozers, excavators, planters. One of the coolest pieces is this Bobcat that cost $106,000. Jake literally said, "It's basically like a Porsche for farm equipment." Who spends that much on a Bobcat? Jake Paul does. Then there's the off-road collection, and this is where it gets really crazy. Jake built what he claims is the world's biggest razor track on the property. Over 2 miles of jumps, whoops, and trails carving through the woods. It swings down in front of the lake, so you get these gorgeous views while you're literally flying through the air. To ride this track, he's got an insane collection. Multiple Polaris vehicles, including a 2-seater with a turbo pushing 420 horsepower. Yamaha YFZ 450 RS. Yamaha Raptors, Polaris Rangers, dirt bikes, scramblers. At one point, Jake mentions that several vehicles aren't even there anymore because they crashed them and destroyed them. That's the level of chaos we're dealing with. There's even a Jurassic Park Jeep, like an actual Jurassic Park replica vehicle just chilling on the property. Because why not? If you've got $40 million to spend on a ranch, might as well throw in a Jurassic Park Jeep for the vibes. And here's the kicker. The property has its own private gas station. Diesel, 87 unleaded, and 91 octane all on site. Because when you've got this many vehicles constantly running around, you can't just drive to the nearest gas station. That would take like an hour with that 3-mile driveway. Jake didn't just buy this property to rip around in Lamborghinis though. This place has some of the best hunting in America, and he takes it seriously. We're talking deer with premium genetics, wild hogs, alligators, doves, quail, you name it. The deer situation is particularly interesting because Jake's doing actual conservation work. He's selectively hunting deer to improve the genetics of the population. The goal is to grow the biggest, healthiest deer possible. There's even a deer cooler and gutting station on the property. So when you kill a deer, you process it immediately to preserve the meat. And Jake makes it clear, everything they kill gets eaten or donated. Nothing goes to waste. He prefers bow hunting for deer because he says it's more fair. You have to be patient, stealthy, quiet. It's an art form compared to just shooting from a distance with a rifle. There's a whole setup with dog kennels for hunting dogs that fetch birds during dove and quail hunts. The wild hogs are a different story. Those things are an invasive species that destroy billions of dollars worth of crops across America every year. So Jake and his crew go out at night with thermal vision and just drop hogs to control the population. It's not even really sport hunting at that point. It's pest control. And then there's the gators. Jake killed an alligator on the property and literally had it turned into his fight shorts for his last boxing match. I'm not even kidding. He wore alligator skin shorts made from a gator he personally killed on his own property. That's the most Jake Paul thing I've ever heard in my life. He also killed a 7-foot rattlesnake with a shovel. Just casually walking around and found a massive rattlesnake and decided to handle it himself with a shovel. The dude is legitimately living in the wild out there. So what about where he actually lives? The property has 4 houses total spread across the land. There's a main lodge with 9 bedrooms that has this old-school family home vibe. Beautiful lake views overlooking Lake Seminole. They're doing renovations right now, opening up walls, updating everything to make it more modern. Jake gave one of the houses to his dad. Just straight up gave his pops a house on the property, so family can come stay whenever they want. For Jake, this whole project is about creating a place where he can eventually raise his kids in nature. Let them experience all the outdoor activities he loved growing up. Then there's Jake's personal house, which is honestly pretty modest compared to what you'd expect. It's not some crazy mansion. There's a cryo ice bath for recovery, a gun closet in what used to be the pantry, some professional boxing equipment scattered around. It's functional more than flashy. But the real centerpiece is the barn gym. Jake has a full boxing ring set up in this rustic barn where he does all his training while he's on property. It's got that old-school Rocky vibe with the barn aesthetic. He's been using this spot for full training camps as an alternative to his usual Puerto Rico camps. Says working out on those rolling hills is absolutely brutal, but it's a good change of pace. There's also a horse barn, but no horses yet. Jake's got plans though. He wants to add cattle, horses, and get this, exotic animals. He literally said, "Imagine giraffes running around. It's going to look like Jurassic Park." This man wants to turn his property into a safari park. Here's what a lot of people don't realize. This isn't just Jake blowing $40 million on a toy. This is a legitimate investment property with a business plan. Jake openly says he plans to sell this place for $100 million once he's done with all the improvements. And he's already generating revenue. There's 60 acres of peanut fields on the property, producing actual commercial crops. Jake's literally a peanut farmer now, making money off the land while he builds everything else. But the big plan is way more ambitious. Jake wants to build a full airstrip that can land private jets. He's already got the flat land cleared and ready. Then he's building an F1-style racetrack that weaves throughout the property for over a mile. Not just for himself, but to turn this into an exclusive membership club. The vision is to have ultra-wealthy car enthusiasts buy homes right on the property around the track. They keep their supercars in private garages. They can use the racetrack whenever they want, land their private planes on the airstrip, and have access to all the amenities. Ice baths, saunas, hot tubs, the wake surfing, the razor track, hunting, everything. It's basically creating a luxury resort meets racing club meets hunting preserve all in one. And if he pulls it off, a $100 million sale price might actually be conservative. Jake even admits he bought the property too soon. He's still actively boxing and can't really go crazy on the toys without risking injury before fights. He calls it his retirement property, but he's building it now so it's ready when he's done fighting. So there you have it, Jake Paul's $40 million ranch in all its glory. 6,000 acres, multiple lakes, millions in vehicles and toys, world-class hunting, future airstrip and racetrack, a legitimate business plan to flip it for $100 million, and enough chaos to fill 1,000 YouTube videos. If you made it this far, drop a like and let me know in the comments what part of the ranch is the craziest to you. Is it the 3-mile driveway? The private gas station? The fact he's going to have giraffes running around? Let me know. And make sure you're subscribed because we're going to keep covering wild celebrity properties like this. Alright, I'm out. Peace.